Hey there everyone, this is Piper here, and this is going to be a tutorial video into the game Door Kickers. So if you haven't played Door Kickers before, a brief description is it's like a 2D strategy game. It's like the Rainbow Six planning missions. You basically take control of a group of elite SWAT officers, and you save hostages, you kill terrorists, you defuse bombs, etc. etc. This is going to be a brief tutorial into the game, what the good weapons are, tips and tricks, all that sort of stuff. Again, I'm not an expert in door kickers, but hopefully this will be some useful advice you can use if you're new to the game. So without further ado, let's get this started, and I'll go over the weapons to start off with. So basically, there's 5 classes in door kickers. There's point man, assaulter, breacher, stealth, and shield. So each class is pretty much self-explanatory. Point man is you have you're basically very fast. You have a handgun. You don't have that much firepower, but you sacrifice that for speed and aiming speed. Salter, good assault weapon. Breacher, you have a very good shotgun, which means you're deadly at short range, but you're very loud and you're lacking at long range. Stealth, you're basically just like a dumbed down version of the assault class, except you have silencers on your weapons. Shield, you get a shield for protection. So go through some of the weapons. To be honest, you're probably going to be using the point man and assault class the most. Stealth can be effective when you have hostages involved, but to be honest, if you're a point man, you can probably usually 9 times out of 10 get to the hostage before he dies if you're point man. So go through what the best weapons are. Obviously, you can go through the game yourself and test out different stuff, but if you're wanting to use your stars the best from the start, you only get so many stars. I'll tell you the best weapons to get in my opinion. So for point man, the best 2 weapons to buy are Magnum and Mark 23, Mark 23 standard pistol. So basically, the Magnum is, if you ever watched any of the Western films, the Magnum is very popular. It's an absolutely devastating weapon. It's a huge gun, and it will basically give you a one hit, one kill most times. So very powerful pistol. But the downside is, if you see the magazine's only 6. Let's get back here. The magazine is 6, so you're gonna run out of ammunition very fast. So Magnum is good if you don't have that many enemies to kill. If you have like 8 squad members and you really specialize, but can be a little bit lacking in the magazine. The Mark 23 pistol is not as powerful as the Magnum, but you get a much higher magazine. Assault, you want to really get the P90. So the P90 is the best all-round assault weapon. It's very fast and very accurate. The next best one to get is the MP7. Very effective at close range. It might actually be better than the P90 at very close range. But in terms of overall use, the P90 is the best. If you want to get a longer range weapon, for example, for sniping, for outside maps, you want to get the SAR 18 bullpup. That's very good for long range. If you want to go for a medium to long range, for example, if you're indoors, but you have quite a far distance to shoot, the HK is pretty good. HK carbine or the M4. I think you actually already get the M4 anyway. I can't remember to be honest. But if you only have so many stars, get the P90 first, then get bullpup, and then get the M4. So breacher class, obviously breacher, you get a powerful shotgun, which is very good for if you have to defend a doorway, defend hostages, defend in one direction, you don't care about noise, and it's close range. Shotgun is very powerful. Joint combat shotgun is the best shotgun there is, in my opinion. The rest of them are okay. The standard one's okay as well. but I'd probably say the joint combat's the best. Stealth runs along the same lines as the assault class. You want to really go for the P90 again. It should be here somewhere if I can find it. That's it right there, the P90. So it's the same as the assault class P90, except it's just it's got a silencer on it. So it means it's a bit quieter. It's not as powerful, but it's quieter, and you want to draw attention to yourself if there are hostages around or enemies or whatnot. Again, go for the HK4 carbine silenced if you want to go for a medium to long range assault rifle that has a bit more power to it. The standard stealth weapon's actually not bad, quite fast as well, but if you want to buy two, get the P90 silenced and the HK silenced. So the last class is the shield class, and to be honest, I didn't actually use the shield class that often during the single plan 3-star missions. It's kind of a novelty class. It's kind of interesting to include the shield class into a team, but to be honest, it's, in my opinion, it's a waste of a slot. You're far better going for assault class or point man, or even like a point man. Give them 4 flashbangs and magnum. But to be honest, if you're going to use it, go for the assault shield level 3. That's the best one in my opinion. So go look at armor now. Depending on what mission it is, you really want to get Raider Vest. That's the one you're going to use the most. It gives you the most mobility and the most protection. So if you only have so many stars at the start, go for Raider Vest and then get Extended Protection. Extended Protection is really good because the whole part of your body is protected, but the downside is that your mobility is very restrictive. So it means that you're slower to turn, and you're probably slower to aim as well. If you're using Point Man, try and either go with Raider Vest if there's quite a lot of enemies. If there's not too many armoured enemies, they're fairly lightly armoured themselves, or they're fairly lightly equipped, you can go with low level threat armour. That means that you're ultra fast, but if you look at the front armour, side armour and rear armour, you're a little bit lacking. So there's a brief rundown into the different classes. So I'll go through some of the tips and tricks in door kickers. I'll go through some of the levels. I've got some replays saved actually. So what I'll do is we will look at a level. So one of the new maps that was released was actually called Derailed. We'll look at that very fast, and I'll explain some of the logic behind the plan. So basically what you want to do is you want to work in teams. So I've watched a lot of YouTube replays of door kickers, what other people have done, how they've done their levels, their single plans. You really want to keep your plans very simple. A good tip is always work in pairs of 2. So basically if you have 2 guys working together, it means they're going to perform so much better versus the enemy than making them work separately. But the key thing is you need to keep them together. So you need to keep your 2 guys together. So a trick is, at the start of a level, direct them into an area and put a go code. So basically right there, I've got a go code right there. That ensures that the 2 guys are very close together. So we'll start this off, see what happens. And even though they started in different areas, they're spaced out, I've got them all together now using go codes, which means that they'll all work together. So basically they've seen enemies, they've thrown flashbangs up, and they're going to move together. And because they were put under a go code, they're going to move together, which means that they can fire over each other's shoulder and it means they can use, it's basically firing double the amount of bullets at once. Like I was saying before, you get flashbangs and stinger grenades. You can see there, I threw a stinger grenade up here to the hill, and that killed him outright because it was a direct hit. I threw a flashbang here, he's only dazed. So basically, if that was a stinger, he would have died as well. But I wanted to make sure there was a flashbang. I think flashbangs last longer than stinger grenades. So he's dead from the grenade. These two will die from the flashbang. Well, they'll be stunned from the flashbang. It will kill them from the... These guys have the bullpup, like I was saying before, the SAR 18 bullpup. Because this is a long range map, the bullpup's the best for long range. Could have gone with M4. M4 is also pretty good, but this level's more for long range than the medium range, so bullpup is going to be the better choice. Threw the flashbang up there as well, and he's going to die. And you can see there, because they were in the go code, they're staying together, and you want to make sure you're keeping the paths on each other. So when you have the go code, you'd have the go code there. They're going to enter the building, and you can see the path. The paths are almost on top of each other. So that's another useful trick. So we're going to speed this up, and that's a really good way of doing the missions. Keep your two guys together and work as a team. Another good thing is, I'll give you an example using the point man. Quite a good one is, do this one here. It's a good example of using point men. So basically the team is Mark 23 pistol. He's got a pistol as well. We've got a Magnum, and basically got two Magnums and a M23. And we'll check this out. And you see there, I've got them opening the door. The two guys are on top of each other in the plan. So it means that when that door opens up, these guys will run in and stay together. And you can see the maps are overlapping on both plans, or both teams rather. So when these guys run in, they'll stay together. Plus they have point men, where they have handguns, and I think it's low armor. So you see, they used that coordinated attack. Because there was a hostage involved, put them on a go code, which meant that they actually entered both rooms at once. So even though they were only armed with handguns, the point men are very quick to shoot the enemy, and they're very fast. So provided we can actually open the doors in time, get the guys in, we can actually save the hostage before the bad guys get the hostage. If we had assault class, you'd probably have to throw a flashbang in there first. Using a point man, it's usually more effective, more efficient. It's more of a cleaner way to complete the level. So this is some tips and tricks on how to manage your squad members more effectively. You want to create those teams I was talking about before, make your guys work together in pairs. There is a tutorial in the game, but it's not really the most helpful. There's parts missing, and it could be a lot more detailed. So we'll start this off by telling you how to position your troops in one direction. So we'll start this off. We're going to tell this guy to run up here. He's going to basically team up with this guy. So we're going to set him to face this way, and then he's going to run to the doorway. So as an example, we're going to get him to face this way, run to the doorway. So to get a squad member to look in one direction permanently, you hold the control button, right click, and we're going to move him to here. So basically, he's going to look in that direction until he gets to here. He will not stop looking in that direction until I tell him to look somewhere else. So control, look in the left hand direction. He's going to run up here, and then we're going to direct him again by pressing the right click and use the direction. So basically, it's control right click, got to here. We need to tell him to stop looking that direction, right click. So basically, what happens is, just say there's a danger there. Control right click makes him look in one direction. Right click will make him look in one direction temporarily for maybe like 2 seconds, and then he'll change to look in the direction he's walking. So check out this. He's looking in that direction, taking out the bad guys, looking in that way for 2 seconds, and then straight up. So basically, we've got this guy facing that way. He's now going to face that way and walk to the doorway. So that's quite effective for one of the squad members, but really want to sort of get these guys working together as a team. So what we're going to do is, we're going to get these guys working together. We do this by creating go codes. So basically, he's already set up, he's already facing that direction. He's going to be facing, we'll do it more serious now, he's going to be facing the right way. But I want him to team up with Springbok. So we're going to set both these squad members to go codes. Set him to go code A. He's going to run over to get really close beside him, and then he's going to be covering the right hand side as the team moves down. So basically, Blues is going to cover left hand side, Springbok's going to cover the right hand side. Set him to go code A. Go codes are basically, you tell your members to move to the next waypoint at a particular time. He's going to follow his partner's path to here. He's going to look in the same direction as he's walking now, and he's going to team up with Blues. So check out this. Start mission. A for go code. Covering both sides. And covering the doorway. So you can see there, they had, both sides were covered, and then now they're facing the doorway. Start that again. Do the same with these guys. He's going to be facing the left hand side, so control, right click. Get him to control go code B. His partner's going to come over here. They're going to get really close. He's going to cover the right hand side. Get them both together. So now I know that they're together in that area. When I hit B, they're going to move as a team. He's going to run down here like this. And his partner is going to follow him as such. Start this off. Send in A. And we're going to send in B now. And see how they both cover different sides. And because we never actually told these guys to stop facing these directions, I have to literally press right click and then face them in a different direction. So basically, if you control right click, you see there's a blue line. He's going to hold that direction, so you tell him to stop. If you just right click one direction, it's green. He'll face that direction for 2 seconds, and then he'll change to the direction he's walking in. You do some minor alterations. For example, they're both facing each direction there until they get here. Say I wanted to temporarily if there was a window there, I could get him to face that way by right click. So basically he gets to here, he looks in that direction, but he's gonna face the direction he's walking in. So I would have to tell him, I'll show you that example there.
Bravo, go, Alpha, go.
So basically we told Chiper to look in that direction, but because it wasn't a control right click, he's gonna look in the direction he's facing. We need to tell him to control right click now. And obviously keeping both guys together, it's a very good habit to get into. So that's the end of the tutorial video. Hope you guys have found it beneficial. Again, there's a lot of good tips and tricks on how to manage your squad members. Definitely use the pairs. And again, hopefully you've got a better understanding on what the best weapons are and the best armour. So again, like I was saying before, I'm not an expert at door kickers, but I've completed all the single missions, 3-starred them, and single planned the ones that were available. So again, thanks for watching this video. Hope you've enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe if you haven't already. This is Piper signing off.